Hey, I'm Lucas. So, quick question. Have you ever checked your weather app, saw sunny, walked outside, and the sky looked like it was about to start a war? Because that happened to me this morning. I trusted the app, and I regret everything.
Oh no, that is so real. I feel like weather apps sometimes just guess. Like, they wake up and say, let's surprise them today.
And the worst part is, you plan your whole day based on that. You wear something light, and then suddenly it's cold. Or you take a jacket, and then you're sweating like crazy 5 minutes later.
Yes, that happens all the time. Like, in the morning, it feels chilly, and by afternoon, it's hot. By the way, chilly just means a little cold. Not freezing, just a bit cold, you know?
Yeah, and then in the evening, you're confused. Like, what season is this? Summer? Winter? Something in between?
Honestly, sometimes it feels like all seasons in one day. And that's why weather is such a common topic here. People in the US talk about weather all the time. It's like the easiest way to start a conversation.
True. You don't need to know the person. You just say, nice weather today, and boom, conversation started.
Or even something like, it's so hot today, or it's freezing outside. These are very simple but very natural sentences.
And people say things like, it's pouring. That means it's raining very heavily. Not just light rain, like serious rain.
Yeah, like the kind of rain where you step outside for 10 seconds and you're already wet. Actually, another word is soaked. If you are soaked, it means you are completely wet.
I've been soaked so many times because I didn't carry an umbrella. And I always think, it won't rain. And then it rains.
Same. And then you try to act normal, but inside you're like, why did I do this to myself?
Or when it's really humid. That's another word people use a lot. Humid means the air feels wet and sticky. Like, you're not even moving, but you still feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't like humid weather at all. Your hair gets weird. Your clothes feel heavy. Everything just feels, ugh.
And sometimes the sky looks gloomy. That's a good word too. Gloomy means dark, cloudy, and kind of sad looking, like the sky is in a bad mood.
That's such a perfect way to say it. A bad mood sky. I love that. And honestly, weather really affects your mood too. Like sunny days feel happy, and gloomy days feel slow.
That's true. And this is why people keep talking about it. It's not just small talk. It actually connects to how you feel.
Yeah, and also, weather changes so fast sometimes. One moment it's clear, and then suddenly it's windy or rainy. When we say clear, it means the sky has no clouds. Nice and open.
I like clear weather. It makes everything feel simple. But yeah, it doesn't stay like that for long sometimes.
Yeah, especially when you have plans. Weather loves to ruin plans.
That's a fact. If you have a picnic, it will rain. If you go out without a jacket, it will get cold. It's like weather is watching you.
That's actually scary, but also true. And guys, by the way, if you're enjoying this kind of real English conversation, don't forget to like this video. It really helps.
Yeah, and also tell us in the comments, what's the weather like where you live? Is it stable or completely crazy like ours?
And try to write one sentence in English, like, it's sunny today, or it's raining, or anything simple. Practice a little.
And if your weather also changes its mind every 5 minutes, you should definitely subscribe. You belong here.
That's a good reason to subscribe. But, talking about weather like this actually reminds me of something.
Oh, that tone sounds dangerous. What happened?
No, it's just last weekend I went on a trip with my friends. Only girls. We were so excited. Everything looked perfect at first.
Okay. I already feel like something went wrong.
Yeah, a little bit. The weather looked fine when we started. Like, nothing serious. We thought it would be a calm, relaxing weekend.
Let me guess. It was not calm.
Not even close. Things changed really fast.
Okay, now I really need the full story. You said the weather had other plans. What happened after that?
So, we started the trip feeling very confident. Everything looked calm. The sky was a little cloudy, but still bright enough. We were playing music, stopping for pictures, laughing about small things. It felt easy, like nothing could go wrong.
That's always how it begins. A little too perfect.
Yeah, and we trusted the forecast. It said maybe a little rain, nothing serious. So we didn't prepare much. Just light clothes, snacks, normal stuff.
No backup plan at all?
Not really. We thought we wouldn't need it. And honestly, at the beginning, it didn't feel like a mistake. The air was fresh, the view was beautiful. Everything felt right.
So when did it start changing?
Slowly. And that's the scary part. At first, the wind picked up a little. Just a breeze, soft wind. We didn't think much about it. But then it got stronger. Not crazy, but enough to notice.
That moment where you feel something is off, but you ignore it.
And then the air suddenly felt colder. One of us said, "Wait, was it this cold before?" We all paused for a second, but then someone laughed and said, "You're overthinking."
Classic.
Yeah, and we wanted to believe that. But then the sky started changing. It got darker, like really gloomy. You remember that word. Gloomy means dark, heavy clouds. Like the sky is not happy.
That kind of sky makes everything feel serious.
It does. And then we heard thunder. Not loud at first, just far away, but enough to make us all quiet for a moment. We looked at each other, like, "Did you hear that?"
That silent eye contact. Everyone thinking the same thing.
Yeah. But then one of my friends said, "Relax, it's far away." And we all just agreed, because no one wanted to panic.
I don't trust that relax person.
Me neither now. And then it started raining. Just a few drops at first. We even joked about it. Someone said, "See, it's just a little rain."
The beginning of the mistake.
Yes, because within minutes, it changed. It started pouring. Heavy rain. Fast. No warning. Pouring means very strong rain, like you can't ignore it anymore.
And I'm guessing you didn't have umbrellas.
Nothing. No umbrellas, no proper jackets, nothing. In just a few minutes, we were completely soaked. Our clothes, our shoes, everything.
That's uncomfortable. And a little stressful.
It was both. And then the ground became muddy. Every step felt heavy, like your shoes were getting stuck. And it got really slippery too. Slippery means you can easily fall.
Please tell me someone almost fell.
One of my friends did. She tried to walk faster and just slipped a little. Not a full fall, but enough for all of us to panic for a second.
And then laugh after?
Yes, once we saw she was okay, we couldn't stop laughing. But honestly, that laughter didn't last long.
Because things were getting worse.
Yeah, the wind was stronger, the rain wasn't stopping, and suddenly it didn't feel like a fun trip anymore. It felt uncertain.
That moment when fun turns into, what do we do now?
Exactly. We looked around and realized something important. Going back wasn't easy. The path was messy, wet, and honestly, we were already tired.
So you were stuck.
Kind of. Not completely stuck, but not comfortable either. And that's when we started looking for shelter. Shelter means a safe place where you can stay away from bad weather.
Did you find anything?
Not really. We were in an open area, not many options, and the rain just kept coming. One of my friends started getting quiet. Another one kept joking like nothing was wrong. And I was just standing there thinking, this is not going how we planned.
That mix of emotions, panic, confusion, and still trying to stay calm.
Yeah, exactly that. And then someone said something that changed everything.
What?
She said, "What if we just stay here for the night?"
Wait, seriously?
At first, it sounded crazy. We all looked at her like, "Are you serious?" But then we thought about it. Moving didn't feel safe. Staying felt scary, but maybe possible.
That's a big decision in that moment.
It was. We were wet, tired, a little confused, but also kind of laughing at the situation. Like, how did a simple weekend trip turn into this?
Yeah, from cute photos to survival planning.
Exactly. And that's when we realized this trip was not going to be normal anymore.
Yeah, now it's a story.
And honestly, that was just the beginning of it.
Okay, so you're standing there, wet, tired, and someone says, "Let's stay here for the night." What did you do after that?
For a few seconds, no one said anything. We just looked at each other like, is this really happening? But then, slowly, we started thinking about it seriously. Going back felt risky. The path was muddy, slippery, and we were already exhausted.
So staying actually started to make sense.
Yeah, not comfortable, but possible. So we decided to stay. And that's when the real challenge started. We had no proper camping setup, just a few bags, light clothes, and some snacks.
Snacks. Very important for survival.
At least we didn't go hungry. But everything else, not great. The air was getting colder, and the wind didn't stop. It felt really chilly. Chilly means a little cold, but in that moment, it felt more than just a little.
Especially when you're already wet.
Wet clothes and cold air. Worst combination. We tried to find a spot where the wind was a little less strong. Not perfect, but better than nothing. That became our camp.
I like how you say camp, like it was planned.
Yeah, it was not planned at all. We just made the best of what we had. One friend tried to organize things, another kept saying, "This will be a good memory." And one just kept complaining every 5 minutes.
There's always that one person.
Always. And then it got darker. Proper dark. No city lights, no noise, just wind and rain. It felt very different. A little scary, but also kind of peaceful.
That silence in nature. It can feel big.
Yeah, and every small sound felt loud. Leaves moving, wind passing, even our own footsteps. At one point, we all just sat quietly for a minute.
Thinking about life?
Not that deep. Just trying to understand how we ended up there. And also trying not to think about worst-case situations.
Fair enough.
We tried to sleep, but it wasn't easy. The ground was a little damp. Damp means slightly wet. Not fully soaked, but still uncomfortable. We kept moving, adjusting, trying to get comfortable.
I'm guessing no one slept properly.
Not really. Maybe small moments, but nothing real. And every time the wind got stronger, someone would wake up and say, "Did you hear that?"
That's when everyone suddenly becomes alert.
But at the same time, we were also laughing. Not all the time, but enough to keep the mood light. It felt strange, uncomfortable, but also kind of bonding.
Like you were all going through it together.
And that made it easier. We shared jackets, shared snacks, helped each other stay warm. In a weird way, it brought us closer.
That's the part people don't expect.
True. And then slowly, after some time, the rain started to slow down. The wind became softer. It didn't stop completely, but it was calmer.
So the weather finally gave you a break.
Yeah, it started to clear up a little. Clear up means the weather gets better. Less clouds, less rain. And that moment felt so good.
I can imagine.
We were still tired, still cold, but we knew the worst part was over. And when morning came, everything looked different. The same place, but calm, quiet, almost beautiful again.
That contrast must have felt crazy.
It did. And that's when we realized something. The weather changed everything, but it also gave us a memory we would never forget.
Yeah, sometimes the bad part becomes the story.
And honestly, that's why learning to talk about weather in English is so useful. Because it's not just about the weather, it's about life, plans, experiences.
And today we used so many real expressions.
Yeah, like, it's pouring, it's humid, it cooled down, we got soaked, the sky looked gloomy.
And these are the exact sentences people use every day.
So now you can use them too. Try it. Tell someone about your weather. Keep it simple, keep it natural.
And we'd love to hear from you. What's the weather like where you live?
Write one sentence in the comments. Something simple, like, it's rainy today, or it's really hot here.
And if you've ever had a trip where the weather changed everything, tell us that story too.
And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like the video.
And subscribe for more real English conversations like this.
All right, take care of yourself.
And we'll see you in the next episode.